This is our next section of the talk tonight, which is we have had a lot of, not unsurprising, a lot of questions around where can someone work as an international medical graduate GP in Australia? Will I have to work rurally? Are there some restrictions on practice? Ashraf, do GP IMGs have to work in rural areas?
By and large, yes. I personally, obviously, because of the nature of what I do, don't see this as a negative part, but it's certainly because this is where the areas that have workforce shortage, and Anthony will talk about that a little bit more later on. And when you come in as an IMG, I think most of the time you'll find that you'll have to work rural for a period of time, which brings in all those rules and restrictions that we have with the 10-year moratorium and everything else, which can actually be shortened depending on how rural you go. But I think the short answer is yes, in a way, apart from very few exemptions that Fran will talk about a bit later.
Yeah, so we've seen this map in the previous webinar, but I'm just going to type in board, which is where Ashraf is. And you can see I've ticked the GPs for which is called the distribution priority area, which is just a fancy name for how the government works out which localities are in need and in excess. So basically yellow means yes in need and blue means no. And so that means you are restricted in where you can practice in general practice through the Medicare system. So just zooming out, this is the Victoria. See Ashraf up here, Franziska's down here. If we zoom into Melbourne, really pretty much the only parts of Victoria that are blue and off limits are pretty much around Melbourne. So you know, as Ashraf said, it's nuanced. You could work in a particularly rural area like Boort. You could be in a maybe larger town like Bendigo, or even a little bit closer to the Melbourne sort of urban fringe. You'll see here there are parts of Geelong even, which is a big city, the second biggest city in Victoria, which currently at least is open for general practitioners to practice under the DPA system. So